Ahoy ahoy, Long Lance here. I'm going to try something a bit different. Well, it's not different, it's been done plenty of times, but something different for me. I'm going to have a go at a cone style live build, which will be a bit of an interesting thing. You get to listen to me rabble on for a while and pretend I know what I'm talking about. So at this point in the build, I am focusing on, as you can see, the upper hull. Sorry, God, I'm still trying to find the camera angles I don't knock. So the upper hull and the turret assembly. So that would be step 6 through 7. Okay, so we'll get on. We'll get cracking with this and see how we get on. So this is all new and exciting, kind of YouTubey live build where you can all like see what type of fucking psycho I am. But other than that, just kind of see how it goes, shall we? So yeah, I've been watching a few builds. I've been watching a lot of Cohen's builds. His Leo is looking at top notch. Jeez, I don't know how he does it. Like, he just is one build after the other, and they seem to get better and better each and every build. So buddy, if you're listening, which I hope I'm not able to trick you into listening to this video, keep up the great work, bud. And also, I was watching your unboxing from the wee little Prezi I sent you, and just on that note, you are more than welcome, my friend. And if I could, I'd send much more than that. And it was nice to see that, to see the look of surprise on your face when you saw there was a little bit more than just a couple of Christmas cards. But again, you're more than welcome, my friend, and I really hope that well, I know that those models went to the best of homes, even though what's your young lad, Sammy, is it? Yeah, Sammy. He scared the life out of me when you were reading the letter, because he's bashing the the model box off the table, because you're so focused on it there. You're just dum dum dum. Like, I started laughing away to myself, going, "Oh God, I hope Hobby Boss hadn't skimped out on the packaging." Oh, but no, there was no harm done. But jeez, I got a bit of a laugh out of that, right? Like, but again, it was the least I could do, and yeah, just wanted to comment on that, and just say it was an absolute pleasure, my friend. We're also going to be, the two of us going to be working on, my first video I've actually put up on my channel is the announcement for the buddy build we're doing on ISM with the B-17s. As you can tell, comparing from both videos, I'm a little bit more comfortable now making videos. And which piece is this? Right, this is piece 11. Which one was 11? So yeah, 11. Okay. So so we're both going to be working on B-17s each. He's going to be working on they're both refill kits. So I'm working on the 72. The one is the 72 scale Fortress, and he's working on the 48 scale. And by God, is a bloody monster of a model. No, sorry, I need to I'm not used to doing this. So, like, a lot of the lads who make videos have commented on this, that it really is hard to chat and to build at the same time. And I'm still trying to see on online on shot. But I think more the point of this is just kind of have a bit more of a conversation with you, for you to get to know me a little bit. Because that's one thing I always used to find interesting and really enjoyable about, like, Cohen's and Nigel's and Aaron's and let's not forget Panzerman Bill, like, come on, and Waterloo's videos and all them, is that not only are you enjoying great model skills on show, but you're also getting to know these people. And I kind of wish by the end of this too, you'll know what I mean, like, just kind of get an idea what people are like, you know. But so yeah, back onto that buddy build. I'll be starting that out in the next few days. I might have a bit of a busy week ahead of me, because I will be hopefully volunteering at a centre. Well, if all goes well, sometime this week. It's my plan to, at least. I'll be doing that in the morning. And it's quite late here at the thing. It's quite late here at night at the moment. I just kind of go through kind of patterns of not sleeping for a while. But other than that, like, that's just me, and kind of runs in the family. So I like to kind of slip out to the shed at night and do that. So, but hopefully back onto the build. Hopefully I'll be back. Be working on that in the evenings, like so. So yeah, I was kind of looking up some stuff on the B-17s, and it's a beautiful airplane, but the story behind them is bloody harrowing. Like, reading, because like the U.S. Air Force at the time had a very unusual, well, not usual, but their discipline of bombing was daylight raids over Germany and France and other occupied countries, or Romania for during the bombing over the oil wells. But their idea was that we fly at daylight, it'd be precision bombing, even though like I think it was 1 in 10 bombs landed within 5k of their targets, something ridiculous like that. And they'd fly at high altitudes and saturate the area with bombs. But no, it's all accurate, like, you know, it's pretty much what they do now. Even with the laser guided bombs, they still like bloody blasting the shit out of the place. But the crew members themselves, like, it used to put them in horrendous danger. Actually, I might mount this to the vehicle, actually, yeah. This is going to... Actually, alright, before I do anything, I'm going to have a quick flick through the instructions, because I don't want to snooker myself by fixing anything in the wrong time. No, that's fine. I can leave this loose, So, but I used to fly them during daylight into one of the world's, at the time, one of the world's most dangerous anti-aircraft systems. And the German Luftwaffe, because was the Luftwaffe also in charge of their anti-aircraft, or Luftwaffe, like in charge of their anti-air and their air force. So like, they were both responsible for fire defense and flak defense, and they decimated the Allied airmen. It's scary. Like, these are a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds flying into hell. And I was reading about one raid. I can't remember the specifics of the raid, but they were meant to bomb Berlin, and the wind caught them and blew them over the Ruhr, which is the Germans. I'll probably pronounce that wrong. To all my German friends on I say I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but it's just we Irish have a strange friendship with the word or the letter or. We'd say things kind of weird, you know. I have a few American friends in a row that laugh at me for how I say words, and TH is and how I completely do not pronounce the H. But well, that's just who we are. But back onto this, but it blew them over the Ruhr, which is next to Berlin. It's one of the most heavily defended spots in Germany. Like, you know, this is where these people's this is the bulk of their war efforts, right? Yeah, okay, you can see where the bulk of their war effort is. And they lost 60 aircraft, but when you put them at where one B-17 has 10 men in the, I was going to clamp this down because there's a bit of a gap, when each 17 has a crew of 10, that's 600 men. And out of a crew, it's very hard to bail out these. Have you ever watched the footage? And I suggest you do, for anyone who's like building, especially two ISMs having a 100-year bomber group build in the next couple of months. You watch the gun cams, especially from the German perspectives ones, because they're the most harrowing out of all of them, when they're hitting up the bomber streams going over Germany. And you watch these aircraft, and they're massive, tumbling out of the sky. And you're like, how do you get out of that? And the truth is, you don't. So that's something else that kind of draws me to history, is the human story, and often it's the human tragedy of it. But I think it's kind of important. I think that kind of puts me on to another topic that often I've gone to, I wouldn't say arguments, but debates on other forums, was on model making, and especially with diorama making, because I'm a big fan of dioramas, or dios, is the modelling of dead and wounded men. And okay, I won't ever model a soldier who is suffering from horrendous open wounds or anything, but I'll model a soldier on the ground, lying on the ground either dead or wounded. And this caused it was a big argument over, I think someone wanted to make a diorama based on the massacre that the SS troops did to the American GIs in Marbly, is it, in Ardennes, when they execute all those prisoners. And he got a bit graphic going, you know, obviously what a not GPMG, and then G42 will do a point blank range, isn't pretty. And it caused a big thing. And I was kind of on the fence with it going, well, I think that we have, you know, we going about modelling realism. And I'm getting to a point here before I'll go, oh, this is crazy Irishman. But and I think that other modelers say, we should never censor history, you know. And we build weapons that, we're building models of weapons that kill people, like, or people died in. And whether we're just having a wounded man with a sore hand or a bandaged head, you're actually like, you're preventing that element from being lost to us, you know, that you're kind of going like, well, men and women lost their lives in these vehicles, like. So, but they were saying, no, you can't do it, and la-di-da-di-da. And it's just something I was kind of wondered what a lot of you would think about that, you know, was that, now I'm not saying, like, I would never model, again, gore, not gore, like a little bit of gore, nothing major, but not open wounds or guys missing limbs or anything like that, that's wrong. I think the best way to do for this diorama is that we're directors, and we direct dramas, not horror movies. So again, by just having a small element of a couple of guys on the ground or a medic dragging a guy, again, no, he's intact, but you're referencing in a very PG way, as in like parental guidance way, you know, in a Disney way, if you will, or John Wayne way, where everybody's fine but just fall over and they're up 5 minutes later. But you're referencing that, like, guys do get hurt, and our diorama, especially like, because there's a big D-Day group build later on in the year in ISM, and I'm thinking of making 2 entries for that. One of them is going to be either Point the Hawk, which is what the US Army Rangers stormed, or Omaha Beach, and those were slaughters, especially Omaha Beach. They say as many as 7,000 now, or some of that. Men were lost on it. It was an absolute bloodbath. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to replicate that, but I'm going to do my best to have guys kind of, I want to show the element of fear in it, that these were only 18, 19-year-olds and they were plunging to hell. And to have that, maybe just our body language, have guys carrowing behind the tank blocks and whatnot. And it's actually good I mention this because guys are making, I believe on YouTube at the moment, there's a build video. I won't be entering that one because I just don't have anything to enter. Even though I could easily enter the B-17 that I mentioned earlier, but I kind of want to keep that separate, just for myself. And but again, you know, like, I think you have a responsibility as a model maker to tell the truth. But again, a truth in a tasteful way, that, you know, having a few guys lying there is, you know, we're showing that people got hurt. You know, I mean, we don't have to show them in bits or pieces like that. You know, that's down to personal preference. I wouldn't go that far. Some modelers might. And if it's done well, yeah, it might not be the nicest to see on a diorama. But again, do you know what I mean? Or just having a knocked out tank with the crew members' graves beside it. I think one of the lads did that for the Holy Tito Panzer II build. And it's very poignant. And I think it's a side of model making that not many people do, because we always tend to make tributes in a way, or replicas or representations of the vehicles or of the victors, but never of the fallen. And I don't know, it's just something that I was thinking about today, and just thought I'd share with you guys and see what you think, you know. I know it might sound like baffle, but there's actually a point to it like that. In model making, just what is acceptable. And the thing is, anything is acceptable because it's personal taste. I'm just cutting off some pieces, you know. But no, I know went off a bit of a tangent there. Well, I don't think I did, but I know I started off talking about the B-17 and went off onto D-Day. But again, they weren't tied because they were both horrendous experiences for the men who took part. And I just thought I'd put that out there and just spare thought for those who took part, you know. I met a man, and this was just from a point of view, that's went by the injection marks, but again that's on the inner face of this plate that will sit at the very front here, so you're not going to see it. So that's what I meant in the earlier update, but again I digress. But I met a man, continuing on the story, I met a man who would have been a friend, God, I know it sounds, I met a man, Jesus Shane. I met a person, if you will, and he was a friend of my granduncle, my late granduncle, but he served with the Royal Navy during D-Day. And he was in one of the large oh, what's the word for them? They're very large landing crafts that could carry a few dozen tanks at a time. They're absolutely monstrous yokes. They're the ones that they can drive out the front of. As in the entire bow would open up and they'd be a sea-going vessel rather than just a shore-based landing craft. And he served on one of them. And he dropped the lads into Utah Beach, which was an American beach. It was the closest beach to Cherbourg, even though it's still about 50 to 100 miles short of it. But again, it's on that beyond the extreme right flank, I believe, of the Allied landings. Oh, sorry, left flank. Yeah, sorry, go on. I'm trying to visualise on the map. And it's also the beach where had the least resistance, because in fact they landed them on the wrong beach. They were meant to land them a few miles upshore, up the coast. But ironically, they landed them in the right beach. So many more men would have died because the actual intended landing zone was so much more. They had so much more heavy defence around it. So in a way, it was one of those happy accidents that saved a lot of lives. But speaking to him about it, because I was very curious. You know, I've never met really veterans, and you know their stories are invaluable. You know, and I think they're important to know. And he was saying that he was a stroker, so he was down in the engine rooms. And when they were going in with the waves, they came in, I think it would have been the second or third wave. And he's saying the noise. He's saying the noise of the guns of the armada behind them, laying in with their 12 and 15-inch guns. And he was just saying to himself that if anything hit them, would it be a mine or a rocket battery fell short on them or something like that, they were gone. And he's saying because he was below deck, so if anything went wrong, they were goners, you know. And imagine that, like, I mean, he was younger. He would have been younger than me at the time. So like, I'm 23. So imagine someone 23 who'd been considered, he'd be considered one of the old lads at that point, and having to wake up every day to fight a war. I don't know. I just find that kind of a sobering thought, you know. I know there's not much to do with model making, but I have a great love of history, and especially the human story of history. And I'm getting into a bit of a problem here. Part K5, which is the rear plate of the turret, or the where the turret should be, isn't quite fitting, Arch. It's fitting a little bit weirdly. Now, I might be able to fix that, and I might not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that loose for now, and I'll come back to that, as in I'll do that off camera because I can't move without knocking over the camera. So yeah, but one very kind of poignant thing he told me was that later on the day when they were doing a few trips bringing equipment back and forth from Britain and from the ships, they got beached as the tide went out. And they got stuck on Utah Beach for 6 hours. And he found a wallet that a GI had dropped. And he never knew what the fate of that GI. He didn't know if he was wounded or killed, or he just simply dropped it as he was storming ashore. But there was a name and address and a picture of a woman who obviously might have been his wife or girlfriend. And Leslie was the name of the man, and the chap who was in the landing craft. He sent her the wallet back because there was a return address, so her address was in it. And she wrote back to him. And he actually showed me, he still had the letter to this day. He had a pen pal from, I think it was Pennsylvania. But it kind of went to show that, like, someone all the way in Pennsylvania's life could have seriously been destroyed by whatever happened all those miles away in Normandy, you know. And, like, you know, I don't know, I don't mean to be a downer about it, but I find that it's something I think, especially for anyone taking part in the D-Day group build, maybe kind of something to consider about your builds, and that you're actually honouring. Think of it maybe in a way that we're just not building models we like and subjects we like. We're honouring people who, and I'm not overly patriotic or the whole freedom bullshit, like, but they went and did a job that no one else really asked them to do. They volunteered to do it, and a lot of them didn't come back. So in a way, like, I think a year anyway with your D-Day builds, and I will be doing it later on with ISM. You know, we'll be kind of honouring their memory, if you will, you know. And like for my second build for that, I'll be doing a German one, Now I have to ask, is it just from the Allies' point of view? But I'd like to do one from the Germans, but I'm keeping that under wraps, because it's a very interesting story, and I don't want it to be ruined until I reveal, or not reveal, but like announce what it is at the time. And I'll be doing some research on that. But if I can pull it off, it will be an unusual diorama, and it's a true story. But no, so other than this, so I'm going to switch off the camera now for a few minutes at least, and see can I sort the fit issue with these, and I'll get back to you and tell you how I got on. Now, I think I might have been just not paying attention because I'm talking, and I know kind of fairly like getting into some serious topics, I know, but I'll just talk about the things I'm currently kind of thinking about, or been talking to other people about, or conversations I have with my mates. So I'm going to let you go for a little while, and I'll be back talking to you again soon, hopefully, as in probably a few seconds, or part 2 of this video. So look after yourselves for now, and I'll be all talking to you very soon. So stay safe, and have a good one. Bye bye.